What's up guys, it's Legend X Ronin, and today I have another top 5 video for you guys. In today's top 5 I'll be discussing the top 5 characters who I think are underrated in Mortal Kombat. With over 20 years of Mortal Kombat, there has been over 70 characters that have been playable. Some have been really amazing and helped progress the story forward, while others have faded in the background due to this huge cast of characters. With that being said, I believe that some characters weren't fleshed out completely in the Mortal Kombat universe, thus being an underrated character. Now when I say underrated, I mean characters that have big story potential or unique backstory or can provide unique gameplay, but NetherRealm Studios don't expand on this potential in the Mortal Kombat story and gameplay. So here's a list of characters who I believe are underrated in the Mortal Kombat universe. Now keep in mind that these are my own thoughts and opinions, so if you have your own thoughts on any characters that are underrated that aren't on this list, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that being said, let's get started with number 5 on this list, Serena. Serena was first introduced as a love interest for Bihan, aka Noob Saibot, in the spin-off Mortal Kombat game Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Though she wasn't playable in the game, she was an NPC in the game that you later fight. Serena is a demon of the NetherRealm who used to work as an assassin for Quan Chi until Bihan helped free her from Quan Chi's services. Her current appearance hides her true form as a demon, which she learned how to sustain after leaving the NetherRealm. As a playable character, Serena has only been playable in Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition for the Game Boy and in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. In the new timeline, Serena had a cameo in Mortal Kombat X in Chapter 6, which reintroduced her to new and old players. Now I feel that Serena is an underrated character for several reasons. I feel that having the ability to transform into a demon is pretty cool and is unique. Besides one other character, she's the only character who can do this. Now being free from the NetherRealm and choosing to align herself with the forces of good, she could actually play a bigger role. In her Mortal Kombat Armageddon bio, it says that she even works with Kuai Liang and joins the Lin Kuei. So I feel that she could definitely play a bigger role if they were to do something like have her join the Lin Kuei. And now being free from the NetherRealm, I couldn't imagine any more options that she could possibly have since she wants to join the forces of good. So it would be really cool to actually see her join the Lin Kuei. Overall, Serena is definitely a character who I feel that is overlooked by many people, and she has a chance to play a bigger role and introduce a unique moveset with her demonic abilities. Moving on to number 4, we have Antara. First introduced in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Antara made her debut as the first vampire character ever in Mortal Kombat. Antara's biggest goal was to find a way to separate her realm from the Outworld by any means. She even tricked Reptile and took advantage of Cyrax, making them both work for her to help her further her goals. Now I feel that Antara is an underrated character because being the only vampire character, she could have a lot more story added to her than what they did in the previous timeline. We know nothing about the realm that she came from or much about her backstory outside of her wanting to save her realm. Now I feel that it would be very interesting exploring her story and expanding on the idea of vampires in Mortal Kombat, and maybe they could possibly give her some kind of role in the Mortal Kombat story and add some unique gameplay to her. So for this reason, I feel that she's an underrated character and could have much more of a backstory and a greater role in Mortal Kombat. Moving on to number 3, we have Asura. Now Asura was first introduced in Mortal Kombat Deception as a demon of the NetherRealm like Serena, who stumbles across a holy sword called Chris that is said to cleanse the user. Asura believes by slaying demons with this sword, she will become more humane and will be able to leave the NetherRealm. Now I think that Asura is an underrated character because like Serena, she has the unique ability to transform into a demon, which is something we haven't seen explored yet in gameplay, and the holy abilities of her sword Chris is also unique too. Now, I've said this before in one of my previous videos, but I still believe that Asura will play a role in reviving the Revenants. The cleansing powers of Asura's sword Chris allows her to be able to be cleansed and leave the NetherRealm, which could possibly be used to help one or all of the Revenants. Now I feel that this could play a major role in the story of Mortal Kombat and possibly change the face of the Revenant characters if they decided to go this route with Asura. So overall, I think that Asura could have a really good story potential to her and introduce some interesting and unique gameplay if they were to make her playable in the game and expand it on her character in the Mortal Kombat story. Moving on to number 2, we have Havoc. Introduced in Mortal Kombat Deception, Havoc is the only character that we know of from the Chaos realm, which was introduced in Mortal Kombat Deception. Havoc is a cleric of chaos who's neither good or bad and only wishes to spread chaos. Being only playable in Mortal Kombat Deception and Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Havoc didn't have much explained about him until he was reintroduced in the new timeline in the Mortal Kombat X comics. In the comics, Havoc played a major role as one of the main antagonists and a major reason to why Shinnok returned in Mortal Kombat X. Now, I feel that Havoc is an underrated character because he's literally the only character that we know of from the Chaos Realm. This is a realm that hasn't been explored much in terms of playing a role in the Mortal Kombat story other than the bit that we got in the Mortal Kombat Deception's Conquest mode. There's still not much that we know about the Chaos Realm, so it will be really interesting seeing it explored more. And Havoc to me hasn't really been explored enough aside from what we've seen in the comics. And I really feel that his gameplay could be really unique if they were to work on it. Overall, I think that Havoc is an underrated character who deserves to be playable again and possibly expand on his character in the Chaos Realm. Now, before we get to the last character on this list, I just want to mention two characters who didn't quite make it on this list but I think still deserve to be mentioned. The first one is Li Mei, who I think is a bit underrated because she's a student of Baraicho just like Liu Kang and Kung Lao, though I feel they really don't show off her skills as a fighter much within the series. I feel that they should give her a chance so they can expand on her gameplay elements and play a bigger role in the story because I feel that they really could do more with her as a character. The second character is Kai, who I think is also a bit underrated because he's a student of Liu Kang, but he also doesn't really show much of his skills in the series. Being a Shaolin and trained by Earthrealm's champion, you would think you would see much more of him in the series. With Liu Kang and Kung Lao both being revenants now, I really think that Kai could play a bigger role as one of the Earthrealm's defenders. Personally, I feel that if they did decide to do a Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks 2 with Liu Kang and Kung Lao not being the main protagonists, then we could possibly see a story with Kung Jin and Kai being the main characters. Now, this at least will allow them to work on Kai as a character and give more story to him if they were to decide to take this route. Now, moving on to the final character on this list, we have Fujin. Fujin first appeared as a boss in Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero and then playable in Mortal Kombat 4 and in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. He is a god of wind who resides in Earthrealm as his co-protector along with Raiden, and in the new timeline he made cameos in Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X and in the Mortal Kombat X comics. I think that Fujin's an underrated character because he's a god just like Raiden, but we really don't see him playing any kind of important story role outside of his role in Mortal Kombat 4. I feel that Fujin could play a much more important role than what he does currently in the story. Personally, I feel that maybe he could temporarily become the new protector of Earthrealm now that Raiden has been corrupt. It would definitely allow them to give Fujin a much bigger role and expand on his character, and if he becomes playable again in the future games, his wind powers as a god could be explored much more now than what they actually were before in the previous games now that we have the variation system, and it could add some new and exciting gameplay into Mortal Kombat. So overall, I think Fujin is definitely an underrated character who deserves to be on the Mortal Kombat roster and play a bigger role in the Mortal Kombat story. So these are all the characters who I think are considered underrated in the Mortal Kombat universe. I feel that all of these characters truly deserve that chance to be reworked into the Mortal Kombat game, whether it's in Mortal Kombat 11 or further in the future. With Mortal Kombat story being retold in an altered way, we might get to see any of these characters get a new look, moveset, and a story added to them. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with me on the characters that I have on this list, or do you have your own list of underrated characters? Be sure to let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at LegendXRun to keep up with all things that I do on my channel. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button for all things Mortal Kombat. This is LegendXRonin, and I will see you guys later. So what if Raiden's forces were to outmatch Kotal Kahn's, causing him to take on the aid of the sorcerer Shang Tsung, who randomly offers to help him in order to deceive him by convincing him to revive the Dragon King's undead army in order to fight Raiden?